Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself: How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One by Dr. Joe Dispenza revolutionizes personal transformation by combining cutting-edge neuroscience with practical meditation. Techniques showing you how to literally rewire your brain and break free from limiting patterns to create the life you truly desire. Point 1. The quantum U represents Dispenza's foundational concept that explains how quantum physics principles apply to personal transformation and consciousness, demonstrating that at the most fundamental level, we are energy beings capable of influencing our reality through focused intention and elevated emotions. Dispenza explains that quantum physics reveals that everything in the universe, including our thoughts and emotions, consists of energy and information, and that the observer effect in quantum mechanics suggests that consciousness plays a direct role in determining physical reality. This means that your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional states are not just internal experiences, but actual forces that interact with the quantum field to influence the circumstances and events that show up in your life. The quantum U operates beyond the limitations of Newtonian physics and linear time, existing in a realm of infinite possibilities where past, present, and future are interconnected and where intention can influence outcomes across time and space. Dispenza emphasizes that understanding your quantum nature is essential for personal transformation because it reveals that you are not a victim of your genetics, past experiences, or external circumstances, but rather a co-creator who can consciously participate in designing your future reality. This quantum perspective requires expanding your identity beyond the physical body and the thinking mind to embrace your true nature as consciousness itself, capable of accessing information and possibilities that exist beyond the limitations of the material world. The practical application of quantum principles involves learning to think and feel beyond your current circumstances, elevating your energy to match the frequency of your desired future rather than remaining stuck in the patterns of your past. Point 2. Overcoming your environment involves understanding how external circumstances and sensory experiences keep you trapped in familiar patterns of thinking and feeling that reinforce your current identity and prevent meaningful change. Dispenza explains that most people remain stuck because they allow their environment to control their thoughts and emotions, creating a feedback loop where external conditions trigger predictable internal responses that generate the same behaviors and outcomes repeatedly. The challenge of environmental conditioning runs deeper than simply changing your physical surroundings, because your brain has been programmed through repetition to automatically respond to certain cues, with established patterns of thought and emotion that feel normal and familiar, even when they are limiting or destructive. Breaking free from environmental conditioning requires developing the ability to think greater than your circumstances rather than allowing your circumstances to determine your thoughts, which means maintaining focus on your desired future while surrounded by conditions that reflect your past patterns and limitations. This process involves consciously interrupting automatic responses to environmental triggers and choosing new thoughts and emotions that align with your desired identity rather than your historical patterns of reaction. Dispenza emphasizes that true transformation requires becoming so internally focused and emotionally elevated that you become independent of external conditions, generating your own positive states rather than depending on external circumstances to make you feel good. The mastery of environment means learning to maintain your vision and energy regardless of what is happening around you, creating an internal state that is so strong and consistent that it eventually influences your external circumstances rather than being controlled by them. Point 3. Overcoming your body requires understanding how physical habits, postures, and biochemical patterns keep you locked in familiar ways of being that prevent transformation and maintain your current identity. Dispenza explains that your body becomes addicted to the emotions and chemical states that you experience most frequently, creating a biological environment that craves familiar feelings and resists changes that would threaten the established chemical patterns. This addiction to familiar emotions means that your body often rebels against positive changes because they feel foreign and uncomfortable, even when these changes would lead to better outcomes and greater fulfillment in your life. The body's resistance to change operates through muscle memory, habitual postures, breathing patterns, and facial expressions that have become automatic responses, reinforcing your personality and emotional patterns throughout each day. Breaking free from bodily conditioning requires conscious intervention in these automatic physical patterns, including changing your posture, breathing consciously, and physically practicing new ways of moving and carrying yourself that support your desired identity rather than your historical patterns. Dispenza emphasizes that meditation becomes essential for overcoming the body because it allows you to observe and interrupt automatic physical responses while training yourself to maintain stillness and presence despite the body's tendency to fidget, react, or seek distraction. The process also involves learning to sit with uncomfortable emotions and physical sensations without automatically reacting, developing the ability to feel challenging emotions fully while choosing conscious responses rather than unconscious reactions. Mastering your body means becoming the conscious director of your physical experience rather than being controlled by automatic patterns of tension, posture, and movement that keep you trapped in familiar ways of being. Point 4. Overcoming time involves transcending the linear perception of past, present, and future that keeps you trapped in cycles of recreating your past experiences rather than creating new possibilities for your life. Dispenza explains that most people live in psychological time rather than the present moment, spending their mental energy reviewing past events and anticipating future scenarios based on past patterns, which prevents them from accessing the creative power that exists only in the present moment. This psychological time trap occurs because your brain has been conditioned to predict future outcomes based on past experiences, creating a mental loop where you continuously recreate familiar scenarios and limit your possibilities to variations of what you have already experienced. Breaking free from time limitations requires learning to exist in the present moment while simultaneously connecting with an elevated future that transcends your past patterns and circumstances, accessing a state of being where new possibilities can emerge from the quantum field. The process involves releasing attachment to your personal history as the determining factor for your future, while maintaining clear intention for what you want to create without being attached to specific outcomes or timelines. Dispenza emphasizes that transcending time requires developing the ability to feel grateful for your desired future as if it has already occurred, creating an emotional state that matches your intention rather than your current circumstances. This temporal transcendence also involves understanding that transformation happens in moments of elevated consciousness rather than through gradual linear progression, meaning that significant changes can occur instantaneously when you achieve the proper alignment of thought, emotion, and energy. The mastery of time means living from your future rather than your past, allowing your vision and intention to guide your present moment choices rather than allowing your historical patterns to determine your actions and outcomes. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading your life with purpose. Subscribe for more book summaries on finance, business, and personal growth. See you in the next video.